Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? I'm bringing you a video today that was requested by some of my viewers. And how do you get started streaming? And I'm going to help you and tell you what I know from my experience. Now, I have been streaming on Twitch for over a year. I'm a partnered streamer, and I've really put a lot of time and effort and thought into growing my stream and making everything the best it can be. It's going to continue to evolve, but I'm going to tell you what I know. So, live streaming to Twitch, okay? And primarily I stream poker onto Twitch, okay? So a lot of this is coming from that place, all right? So first things first, what program do you need to stream? I use OBS Studio. There is an OBS Classic, but OBS Studio is just way better, and we'll just leave it at that. Download OBS Studio. Alright, so before I get into kind of showing you how to get a basic setup here visually, see right now it's black, so if we were to start streaming, this is what you would be broadcasting, a black screen here. This is going to show you what others would see. But first, let's get into the settings here. The general tab, I don't touch anything in here, okay? So go over to stream here now. This is all the default settings except this. You need to select Twitch, okay, because we are streaming to Twitch. There are other platforms that you can stream to, but I stream to Twitch. And then you select the area that is closest to you here for the server, all right? And then now your stream key. What you want to do for this is never give away your stream key, and do not click show, especially if you're making a video on YouTube. But right here, you log into your Twitch, and you can go into your dashboard, and you'll be able to find your stream key, but you put that in. This is what allows for this program to send and broadcast your signal onto the Twitch platform. So this stream key is how it's connected, and this is why you don't want to let anybody have your stream key. Okay, so you get your stream key, you paste it into here, and then we go to output. Now, this is a pretty important spot. Now, I'll tell you, I had a computer prior that I was streaming on, and it wasn't really that great, so I had to mess with the settings a lot, and you will as well, depending on your download and upload speed. So for that, I would suggest going to speedtest.net and checking what your up and down is, and then I think if you hover over this, it might even say something. Oh, it used to on the other one. But so for streaming poker here, I think the video bitrate at 1,000, I know a lot of people run typically at like 2,500, 3,000. I think I run a clear, crisp stream for my poker games at 1,000 here. And if you have a computer that isn't necessarily high performance, maybe your speeds aren't great, I think if you start at 1,000, I've been on less performing computer than I currently have. I've been anywhere from 800 to 1,000. So you may have to mess with that a little bit. I feel like for the video that I'm making here, streaming poker for the general audience, 1,000 for most people's computers, because a lot of people say they got to upgrade their computer, blah, 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 blah. I feel like 1,000 is kind of like a decent starting point if you don't think your computer is that high functioning. All right, this encoder here, just leave it at the 264. This I didn't touch, the audio bitrate. And then the recording down here, I honestly don't use OBS to record. I use Camtasia, so I don't mess with these settings either. And the audio, I do not mess with that. This is a lot of options where if you're doing some fancy things with your stream, which this is not a fancy stream video, this is a getting started video, so it's going to be very basic to get you going. The video here now, this is going to default to your base resolution. And then this one here, if you want to downscale your resolution, this will help it run smoother and cleaner depending on how things go. Right now mine currently is at the 1280/720. And so some of these settings you might have to mess with yourself depending on what computer you're on, but I'm just showing you what I have going. And you can check out my stream in the past broadcasts at twitch.tv/BetOnDrew to see how my videos are coming across based on these settings. And I'll even show my speed test here to give you an idea for some cross-reference. Pull this over here. Insert Jeopardy music, right? Okay, so for some comparison to others getting going, here is what my download speed is. Yeah. More download. All right, so we're doing good today. It's early afternoon. Not a lot of people on around my area, so I guess it's going to be doing decent. The real test here, though, is going to be the upload speed. So let's see. Come on, baby. Where's the sweat? Oh, is it going to break 20? Oh, 15. Definitely not hitting 100 like download. All right, so we're going to let this run. And again, this is just to show you and give you an idea to reference based on your up and down. You see my settings now? Okay, so I'm at 95/20 here. All right, now here I don't mess with this, and this don't mess with that too much in this section. And then you have hotkeys. This is for the fancy stream, and then the advanced here. The only thing that I ever touch here is the stream delay. Okay, so this is important. If you're streaming poker, you need to have a delay. All right, unless you're crazy. But here, and mine was clicked off because I was actually streaming with no delay. But that's different. I put whole cards I covered my cards for a little bit of a different feel. But anyway, you want to click enable, and then you want to set your timing. And this I adjusted a little bit from time to time. But I would say you want to really start around 3 minutes with your delay if you're streaming poker online. Some people go as high as 5 minutes, even 10 minutes. But the longer the delay goes, you lose a little bit of interaction with the chat. It's a bit tougher. But so yeah, so got the stream delay on, and I don't touch anything else here, okay? So I'm going to hit OK, and now the settings should be fine. So we have OBS Studio, we've gone through our settings, we've put in our stream key, we have our delay set, and we have our bitrate set based on how our internet speeds are. Okay, so now we're here. Now we just need to get something set up so that we can stream, because right now if we were to hit start streaming, it would show just this black screen. So I'll get this set up real quick to give you an idea now. Let's go to add, and you could just like right click anywhere, see, and it's going to say the same thing. But let's go to add. Well, first off, this bottom left here, you can hit this, and then I'll just add another one here, like for YouTube. Okay, so we want to make a scene. Now you see I have a bunch of scenes here already, but when you first download, this will be completely empty. But and then you would hit the plus here, and then now name it whatever you want, and then hit OK. And then here we go. Now we're looking at what that is. And now we need to add items into here so that we can broadcast our games. So here we go. I'm going to right click, hit add, and then I've already got a bunch of images and things made, so I know what I want to use. So go to image, and now the first thing for a poker streamer, and the looks of a poker streamer versus a gaming streamer is going to be a little bit different. So this is primarily for poker, but this should give you an idea how to stream really anything you want. You basically just fit your style. So I'm going to go to my overlay here, and then it's already set to fit the screen. It'll pop right in. And the reason it pops right in is because the size of the image is for this. If you have some sort of smaller image, for instance, let's see here, I'll just add something to show you. Smaller image here. Where is the... So here's my logo. See, it doesn't fit the screen fully. You could just grab these corners, change the size of whatever you want, and it's actually kind of fun. It's like you're fitting pieces together, and you can kind of put your own creative flair on things. But you can move this around. If I wanted to just put it here, wherever. On my overlay, though, I have my logo already with it. You could see now, one thing I know that even friends of mine who already stream that aren't really good with OBS, they have people do that stuff for them, is kind of getting fancy with your stuff. I'll tell you a really helpful thing is if you hold down the Alt key, you can crop images. See now the green line here? This is indicating that it is cropped, so hold down Alt and we grab here and we can move it back. And then when it's all the border is red, means that the image is at full size and it's not cropped. So this is a .png image, so it's only showing this. There's no background, but you may get an image that if it's not .png, then it's not going to be invisible background. Okay, so that is that. Now I'm going to get rid of this for Now the other things that you'd want to add here once you have your overlay set is you are going to want to add in your, let me hold it up here. You want to add in your tables, let's say, right? So for your tables here, what I do is mine's already set up, but I'm going to show you. You would go to display capture. All right. And then now I have 3 monitors on my computer. So I have my main monitor, which is the one that we're currently looking at this video on, and then I have my secondary monitor, which I use. The third monitor is where I put my OBS so I can see when I'm streaming and manipulate some things. So one of the monitors I never show. This is the monitor, my main monitor is where the tables are, and then the other monitor is where if I'm looking on a web page, looking at Twitter or something with the stream, that's where I go for here. So you can have multiple monitors set up. So I'll just do main monitor, and then now it fits to the screen. Now you're like, where's the overlay? Now the way this works in this section here, whatever item is on the top is going to be on the top. So you have to picture this not as it's coming out to us, but like if we were to take this OBS program and lay it down on its back, of course we wouldn't see anything, but that's how things sit on top of each other. Okay? So basically the more things we add into this section, it's going to be like a layered cake, you know, that you're looking down on top of, all right? So you're only going to see the top layer, but there's a bunch of layers underneath it. So we can't see the overlay because it's underneath it. So now, first off, we want the overlay to be on top. So you can click on it, and you can right-click if you'd like, and then you can go to order here, which it's tough to see in this section, but you go to order and then you will move up. So you can actually see on the monitor screen because it's the same one, but you can go to move up and then see now the overlay is over the monitor, right? But let me actually, another way that you can do it is you can click on the source here, the main monitor. You can hold control and then hit up, and then see it moves items up and down this. So if you have a lot of things, you can just hit control and then you can move this down much, much faster versus right click, order, move up, right click, order, move up. That's too much. So here, what I want to do, I have the monitor on top, but now we are not going to use the full size of the monitor. So what you would want to do is wherever you have your tables, you want to fit this screen, and this is now where the crop comes in, okay? So what I do is when I have 4 tables going, I will tile those tables right here so that they're the same size all the time. There's other ways you can do this. I'm just telling you the way that I do it. I tile my tables in 4 on this screen, and then, and you can see my icons on the desktop are here and here. It's because when I tile the 4 tables, they're going to be right in the middle. So now what you want to do, let's say you want to just show the 4 tables. That's it. You can get fancy and have different scenes where you show table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. But regardless of how you do that, that's a little bit more of a fancy thing. I'm just doing the basics here. You're going to want to crop. People don't want to see my desktop icon, so hold down Alt and then you slide it in. So let's pretend that the OBS that you're looking at on the monitor capture is a table. So we're going to crop this to the table. Okay, so we slide it in, holding down Alt still, sliding it in. All right, I'm anal, so I'm still going to be anal here. We're going to make sure it's all tight. So there we go. And then we're still holding Alt, and we're moving this up, and we crop it. Now, take your finger off Alt, and now we can grab the corner and make this bigger. Okay? So now, this section right here, in the middle, the big section, that's where I usually put my table. So let's just pretend again that this is a table. Now, another thing that is super useful is once you kind of get towards the sides of the thing, it will like magnet to the side, right? If you want to get it now to this little thing, look, once I get too close, see it shoots over to the left and you can't get it underneath. As long as you are clicking on it, see? Now, I had to double click, you see the green borders? This is our monitor one. Now you can just hit the arrows on your keyboard and you could move it slowly and it won't stick to the side. Alright, so here we go, look. Now I'm getting that lined up. And this is obviously too far over, so I'm actually going to crop this more so it fits into this section. Alright, so there we go. It would be right there. And then this one too, we're going to crop it down so it fits there. Now that we have it fit to the size we want, we need to put this layer of cake underneath the overlay so the overlay shows. So I will click this and then hit Control down. And then now you see my overlay. And you see it'll be kind of semi-annoying here. You see the borders of everything. Just click off to the side and it'll go away. Now we get a real clear look at it, and you can see my overlay is on top. It shows my social media. It shows the subs. This bar is fine. So now, technically, my table is right here. Now, other things you would need up here, I have banners for any sort of advertisements or information that I want to have the stream be able to see. And now in this section here, now I use a green screen primarily. I don't always use the green screen, but I will typically green screen myself in, like in this section here, so I'm like on the table kind of, not in front of the information, and then I would put chat over here. So let's just go here first now to chat. Alright, so we're right clicking anywhere, we go to add, and then chat. There's multiple options to get your chat to show on the screen. I am using currently, so you go to browser source. Now, when you go to browser source, basically this means that it's connecting to some sort of web page, browser. Alright, now I already have mine set up, but I'll show you the settings so you understand how to do it too. So here's my alerts, the alerts that pop up when you have a new follower, a subscriber, donator, that's that. And then chat, of course, is chat. And then on Twitch, you have options where you can show a cheer bar, which goes up as people cheer more biddies into, or bits they're called, into your cup, which are micro donations. And then a cheer cup was a cup where when people cheer, it drops things into a cup. And it's a lot of fun. People enjoy doing it. And then I have something here where when people tweet at me, I do a contest. When people tweet at me, if I like their tweet, it'll come across, pop into the screen, pop out. But for right now, we're just going to be doing basic. So I'll show you chat. So here's my chat. And then I would slide it over to here and then fit it into the screen at whatever size I would want. But let's look at the chat properties, okay? So here you go. Now, if you were to be creating new, you would go add browser source, and then I already have mine, so I clicked add existing. But if you're creating new, you would go here and then you would type chat, and then you would hit OK. All right, and then what would come up would be, when I go to properties here, this screen would come up. Now you need to put the URL because this is browser source. Remember, this is your chat is being pulled from a browser somewhere. I use Streamlabs. All right, so you go log into Streamlabs, you connect your Twitch account, and then there's going to be a section that talks about chat. You can choose your options, how you want your chat to show. Make sure you select on Streamlabs Twitch for your chat, and then you can select the font size, and there's some other options that you can mess with. But at the end, once you have all of that how you want it to be, it'll give you a visual example and a display so you know. But up top, it's going to give you a URL to paste into OBS. And so here's the code. For that, you would grab your codes, paste it in here, and then now, depending on how big or small you want it to do, you can select your size here. Even if it's the wrong size, you can still manipulate it and make the box bigger or smaller, just like what we did with the monitor capture that we just did. Frames per second, mine's set at 30. I know some people stream higher. Like I said, this is basic for kind of standard operating type of computers, not high functioning ones per se. And this here is all pretty standard, so I wouldn't touch any of that. So now our chat is set up. It's where we want it. And now you can see here, let me pull this up right quick and show you now the chat. Okay, so I'm going to type something in chat. Testing for YouTube. See, now it's coming up. Hello, YouTubers. And then here's my Twitch address. Okay, so there you go. Now you have it. And then look, of course, like I was saying before, you can move this, make it as big as you want on your screen. So we would be right there. And then, of course, it's going to go up to the top here. I'll just show you by typing through. And then you see it stops. Okay. Now, don't forget here, look, chat is right now the top layer of cake here. We want that to, so basically, if anything were to happen, chat is going to be on the top. Look, see, now it's over the overlay, it's over this, you see this as a priority. So you want to make sure it fits how you want it to be visually seen. So for the most part right now, we want our overlay Control up. We want our overlay on top of everything, okay? That way too. Now look, I'm going to grab the chat. I'm going to click here and then grab the chat. See now, when I move it up, it's underneath this. So that's how we want things to go. We want it to be visually appealing and visually tight. So now we have our chat. I'll put up, now if you want banners to promote something, whatever you may do, poker coaching, clothing company, whatever you got going on. You really can do whatever you want. It's your stream. But I'll show you my banners here. It's an image slideshow. And then now, if you were making a new one, you would type whatever you want here. Banners is basic. Mine's already here. So I'll click that. And then here's my banners. All right, and they fit into this box. Now remember, you get to the side, see it's starting to stick. So get it right here, and then now I'm going to just hit my arrow keys on the keyboard and then slide it into that sweet spot. Yeah, baby. There we go. Now, you see my banners, and of course I will go into properties to show you if you were to hit new and then you typed in banners, this would come up. Okay, and this is an image slideshow. So just to be really clear, because I'm assuming that the majority of people watching this are brand new, an image slideshow is just images. You could have pictures of your dog slide through here. You could have pictures of whatever you want. Now, you can pick the way you want it to transition. Mine is right now on swipe. It could be cut, fade, slide. You can mess with it, whatever is just visually appealing to you. This time between slides, I have it at 30,000 milliseconds. You could watch just as we're watching here. You saw one already slid through. This goes through with the actual time you have set to here. So mess with it as you'd like. And then the transition speed, how fast it goes through that. Mess with that as you like. You get your preview right here, so you could do it however. And then now, down here is all the things that it runs through for me. And you click here, add, and then you could pick to add a file or directory. Go to your desktop, wherever you have. If you have all your image files you want, then you could just do the directory. If you want to add individual files, you can as well. All right, and then you go in, you add them in, and then now see in the order they're at, unless you put them to randomized. And I would just leave this as automatic. That's how I do it. But if you want it to be random, you can select that too. Here is this, settings don't do anything right here. But anyway, oh right, there it is, randomized playback. Mine are in this order, and you can move these up and down, just like we could with the other one by clicking right here. See, up, down. I'm going to leave them as they are though. But you would get that going. You would click OK. And then as long as your images are sized right for where you want them. Now let's go to the banners. Remember, we want the overlay on the top. So we're going to control up. Now, you see how the difference here between that is? See, it's on top of it. Now the overlay is on top, so it looks much more clean. It looks like it's in a controlled, organized spot, which is huge for me because that stuff drives me crazy. But now my banners are set up there. We're good to go. And look, somebody's actually in our Twitch chat. What's up, Easy Money? Now, the last thing that most people would need here, well, not last thing actually, let's go the other things. Here you can see we have recent sub, recent follow, last donation. So if you're a new streamer, you're not going to have a sub button yet on Twitch, but you can definitely get follows and donations. So however your overlay may look, you'll have a section for recent followers. Now, how do we get that going? Because that's going to be an important thing that a lot of people will do. This basically is text. That's all it is. So you go here, add, right-click anywhere, hit add, and then you go to text. Now, I have a ton of things in my text. The existing here, because I do a bunch of different things. But what you would do, create new, type in follow here. All right, now I'm going to show you what would come up, but I'm going to pull up mine. So here's my follow, and you could see here, this was my last follower, this Cha222. All right, and he would be going right here. Now, obviously, that's too big, but let me show you the properties and what this would look like. So you want to go here. You can select whatever you want your font to look like by going in here. It gives you options, however big you want it. And you want to click Read from File because now you don't want to have to update every new follower you see that comes through. You want it to update automatically. So you want it to read from a file. Now, the program that I use to read my followers, subscribers, donations, my alerts is Muxy, M-U-X-Y. So you want to go there, you want to connect your Twitch account, and then on the left side of that website, as long as they haven't changed their website, you will be able to see a section where you can set up notifications, alerts, but also it will, once you connect your Twitch, it will create on your desktop here an area where you can pull a text from a file. So you would click read from file, it'll give you this text file option. Watch, I'll click this off, it's not there. And you could type whatever you want the text to say, but we're doing read from file, and then you would go browse. And now for Mugsy, what it does is creates a folder on your computer here. You can see it C, users, whatever your computer thing is, and then Mugsy. And then it'll have these text files that it drags here, okay? So we're going down to the most recent follower. You would click that, and then you would hit open, and then it would put this. It would put the destination so it knows, okay, well, where do I pull it from? And then you do that, and you can mess with the color of your font. You could do a gradient, blah, blah, blah. You got some options here, basically, just to mess with how you want your font to look. You would hit OK. I'm going to hit cancel because my settings are where they want. And then it would pull whenever you get new followers. So now we're just going to size this to whatever we want. Bring it down here. And then I'm hitting some arrows here. Okay, that's good. And then you want to see it, just click off to the side, and then boom. So now it'll automatically update. You do the same thing for donations. You right click, and then when you go into that section, you want to click most recent donation or most recent sub. Whatever you want, you can mess with it, and then just put the text where you want. It'll update automatically. For Mugsy, there is a desktop app. It's going to be the Mugsy ticker, it's called. You double click that, and that will make sure that it does populate this. So you need to make sure you have that Mugsy ticker open on your desktop. All right. And then now, of course, right here, let's make sure. Well, actually, here you don't want the overlay on top. See? Now, when I put the overlay on top, look, the text disappears. So this is something where it's small, and this would be like if you're looking at the top of a cake. This would be the sprinkles or little, whatever you put on top of cakes that you would like eat. All right, you want it to be on the top of cake. You don't want to put like a pretty bow or a picture of your wife on the second layer of the cake, because then it would be like this, and you don't see it. It says happy birthday, but you don't see it. So you want this one, actually, we want the follow to be above the overlay, so it sits on top of it here, so you could see it. We're making the cake pretty. All right. Now, you could do that for the other options here. Now, the last thing that we would probably need here, well, you would need alerts. A lot of people, if you're streaming and you want to be serious about it, alerts is big, having it show up and people seeing, oh, I got to follow, oh, there's my name. It's nice. Everybody likes it. Even me at this point, whenever I follow somebody new, it's cool to see your name pop up. We can't deny that. So let's look at alerts, because this is probably another thing. Let's go to add, and now alerts pulls from a website. So we go to browser source, and then of course I already have mine set up. If you're doing it new, you would go create new, type in alerts, and we will go through those settings in a second. But here's my alert box. I can show you a alert here. Okay, so I'm logged into Mugsy right now, and I'll slide this over so you can see. But on Mugsy, at the top of the site, it says Launch Live Feed. This is when you're streaming, so you could see ahead of time who's following you in case you miss an alert go across the screen, which a lot of the time, especially if you're focused on poker, you're going to miss it. You're going to be in chat. Something's going to happen. But you launch your live feed, and I have this up on that monitor that I told you about earlier where I don't ever show that one. I have my OBS, and I have my alerts here so that I can always keep them in mind and not see anything. But here, it'll show you all your alerts, biddies, subscribers, right? So I'm going to hit resend here so you can see what it looks like here in our alert box. And actually, to one thing, in these section, you see these eyeball looking things? This monitor, it's showing my OBS, so it's probably confusing. You see the inception here going levels. That's because the desktop right now is seeing what I'm seeing, and we're showing what I'm seeing, so it keeps going in. But you could click this little eyeball here, and it will take things off. You still have it on your screen, but if you don't want to look at it, you can just click here. There's certain things that I'll click on and off at times to just not have it show. So we have our table, so to say, set up, but we're going to click it off now so we can just look at other stuff. And you can just easily click it, and it's still in that spot. All right, so here, I'm going to show you what the... So there's my new follower alert. All right, now you can change the way that looks. You can put an image, you can change the text in your Muxy dashboard. Now we see how that looks, and we can put it anywhere we want. Let's say my table's up. I'm going to put it right here so that if there's cards in the middle of the table or something, it doesn't go over that. And you can adjust the time, length it pops up, everything. Now I will resend this. Well, we'll send a different one here. Check out this one. Okay, so you can see I have some different things for my subscribers versus followers that go through there. So that's fine. We would say I want that there. And this is another thing now. This is one of the things that usually stays at the top. You want to make sure your alerts always come through. So this is going to be something that we don't really want to go down. Think about the cake. Alerts are important. People want to see that. So we want this to be the top layer of cake, just like we want the text to be. Okay, so there we go. We got our alerts set up. We're almost there. We have our chat, we have our banners, and whatever other text you want to add. I have recent subtext. I could add the donation, and then this buy-ins, cashes, flips, all this stuff is just a text that I would place there. These ones I would just type in. This doesn't pull from anywhere. Now the last thing, if you would want a webcam set up, then you would want to right-click here, go add, and then a webcam is your video capture device. So you would go there, and of course I already have mine set up. If you're creating new, you would go to create new webcam. I'm going to do this. All right, it's going to show you the webcam, and I'm not set up to stream. I just got up a little while ago actually, but so here my lighting, everything is off. You want to really mess with that. You'll see it's going to take a while, but you got to get your settings right. It's too bright here right now. You can, for now, I'm going to take this off and show you if you were starting new. So if you hit new and then webcam, it'll pull up this feature here, and you go select your webcam. I only have one right now, but you could have multiple webcams set up. But here we go. We have our webcam, and you really don't need to mess with too much else here. You could just hit OK, and then you would be set up like me. It would go boom. Oh, hey, here we are. Now you can make this bigger, smaller. Remember, hold down Alt. You could crop. Let's say I didn't want to show just my head. I just wanted to show. We could hold down Alt, move this, and boom, there. Now we can put this wherever we want, however you want to do. Oh, I'm a floating head. And then let's say we just want to put it here or something. Okay, I'm going to hit the arrow keys down, and then boom, look, here we are. Oh, hi. Now that would be pretty much it. You could put this wherever you want. A lot of poker streamers have boxes for this. I green screen, so you wouldn't see my background the majority of the time. You would just see my body and my head, so I could place this anywhere really, and it would look fine because it's going to blend in with the background. But put this wherever you want. And then now, at this point, for the most part, you're set up. We can, and remember with your webcam too now, this is the top one. Watch this with the alerts. See, you don't see it now because it's behind my thing. Cake. We need to keep the alert. Now we're hitting that. Control up. Now we'll run the thing again. See, now it's above me. So we want to make sure the alerts are usually pretty much at the top, depending on what's going on, and the webcam is fine. So we click that and we can move it. And now for the most part, you are set up to stream. As long as we went through the settings, you got your display set up here. Let's go back. Now you have your table showing. You're good to go, and you would hit start streaming. And we have our delay set, so you have to remember that it would be about 3 minutes or however long you set your delay to go. It would get going, and then when you're done streaming, you can hit stop streaming, and you're done. So I hope that was helpful. Honestly, that's the most of it. There's nothing really else past that. There could be a fancy streaming video that I make where I talk about going into like transition scenes, for instance. So I'll show you here what after a while you can piece some things together, get really fancy. I'll just give you a show here. I'm going to remove this scene, and I will show you typically what kind of is going on. I have 4 screens here. I have a transition scene here. So right here shows my transition if I'm moving from one scene to another, and I'll show you what I mean here. Watch. And then see, now it's a different scene, but it gives it a smooth transition. So that's for the fancy video. This is the basic video, but you got some idea of options here. This is a break screen that I have. See, no video. Whenever I'm break in between poker, it goes here, and then here at the end of my broadcast. I like to end it like this, so you could have some fun with it. I have a shout out cam. Don't look at me. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the feed below. Otherwise, make sure you like the YouTube channel if you enjoyed this video. Go over to twitch.tv/BetOnDrew. Give it a follow if you want to check me out, say what's up. Past that, I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and I will catch up with you later. Cheers.